Hi friends! Welcome to Chelsea Reads, where we get to live vicariously through other people's drama. Today we're exploring r/AmItheA. Am I the A for still going to my daughter's wedding even though my other daughter isn't invited due to her panic attacks? I have two daughters. They are 27 and 24. The issue is my younger daughter got into a bad situation when she was in high school. She now has panic attacks and is on meds for it almost 8 years now. My oldest is not close to her younger sibling. It boils down to celebrations usually get interrupted by a panic attack. I know my youngest isn't doing it on purpose, but it really sucks when you're at a graduation and a panic attack happens. Sometimes she can get away and calm down, but sometimes she pushes herself too hard and it results in an attack. Now to the issue. My oldest is getting married. Everyone was invited to her engagement party, and during the event, the youngest had an attack. The event ended soon after since the whole incident ruined the vibe. My oldest was really upset and kept going on about how she shouldn't have invited her. Invitations were sent out and the oldest didn't invite her younger sibling. I asked her about it and she informed me that she wants her wedding to go smoothly and, unlike all the other events, not to get interrupted by a panic attack. I asked her to reconsider and she said no. She wants one day where it is all about her. My youngest is really upset and asked me to skip the wedding. I informed her I will not. I don't want to miss her getting married. This resulted in an argument and she called me a jerk. I'm looking for opinions. My youngest gets attacks at all types of events, not just her sister's. So this isn't I am trying to ruin my sister's event situation. She has been seeing a therapist. The main issues with the panic attacks is that they come on suddenly. She could be doing fine all night and something pushes her over the edge. She is a million times better than when she was a teenager and getting attacks twice a day. Man, oh man, OP, that really is a tough situation because you want to do right by both your daughters. You know, it's not really the youngest's fault that she has panic attacks, and sounds like she is pursuing things that will make it better for her, but in the comments, OP mentions that it's triggered by large crowds. So I think the thing that it really comes down to is that the younger daughter is a bit of the A in this situation because of the fact that she knows that she gets triggered by large events, and even if it's an event that she really wants to attend, she's going into it knowing that that's a big risk. And where she kind of crosses over into the A territory is by her blaming her mother and giving her mother like a guilt trip over it. Or at least I assume that OP is the mother, but I don't think it's specified. So yeah, that's a tough one. I would say not the A because, you know, how's the older daughter gonna feel if mom doesn't come to the event? I think if the younger daughter really wants to go, then she needs to kind of up her therapy and figure out what's really going to work for her, figure out some different coping mechanisms, because she can't really realistically expect everyone to drop everything for her every time she has a panic attack. It's a crappy situation for sure. My heart goes out to everyone involved. But yeah, I would definitely say not the A. Am I the A for, quote, confronting my brother-in-law for allowing his daughter to get so out of shape that she can't even walk half a mile without needing a rest break? My brother-in-law, Bill, husband's brother, is a single father to my niece Cindy. For some context, I've always made it a point to encourage my kids to be active and have a good relationship with exercise. Bill isn't the same way with Cindy. My daughter bought Cindy a pair of skates for her birthday so they could go together, but Cindy tried once, fell too much, and lost interest. She mostly likes to play video games at home and spends a lot of time in chat rooms. And it's fine to have hobbies like that, don't get me wrong. But here's the problem. When we, the girls, were going out shopping a few weeks ago, we were going to take a break and grab lunch at a cafe in the shopping center. It was a half-mile walk on a gorgeous spring day, and Cindy couldn't do it. I did not make a big deal out of it to Cindy, and we just hung out with her until she was rested. I pulled Bill aside after and I told him what happened. He didn't see the issue. I told him she's only 14, she shouldn't have any trouble walking. That I'm worried she's going to develop health issues or it's going to get worse. He got very defensive. He got very defensive and accused me of saying he's a bad parent. I told him no, he's not a bad parent, but that it's alarming that his daughter can't walk a half mile, and that she might need to see a doctor. He got even angrier and said that I was overstepping to back off. I put up my hands and just said, okay, I won't say anymore. And I left. I know how it feels to have your parenting criticized, so I understand why he got defensive. But was I truly so out of line to express concern for my niece? I wasn't talking about forcing her into after-school sports or running laps. That's a great way to make a kid hate exercise. But I fear for things getting worse and her not being able to climb stairs or something in the future. And then OP makes a quick edit. There seems to be a lot of confusion, and a few people have made comments that have made me a little confused. Cindy isn't overweight at all. Oof, now that is crazy. I feel really, really bad for Cindy. And the thing is that, like, I don't want to say the dad is, like, a bad parent or anything, but he's definitely acting very neglectful and kind of burying his head in the sand like an ostrich. He's definitely not acknowledging the fact that that is super unusual for a 14-year-old to not be able to walk half a mile. So I do feel like it would be in the best interest of the kid to get seen by a doctor. She could have a number of things going on that could seriously get worse if it's neglected, like if she has asthma or anemia or something like that. And so the only way that they're going to find out what the issue is if, she goes to a doctor. So I think it's good that OP, mentioned something. She's definitely giving a lot of grace to the father. But yeah, I just think that OP is definitely not the A in this case. Am I the A for blowing up on my husband's friend after her wife died? Oh man, that does not... let's see what the situation is leading up to this, because definitely OP's not sounding very, yeah, okay. My 36 female husband, Ian, 44 male, is close friends with a woman named Jenna. They've been friends for a long time, before Ian and I got together. So I know her fairly well, but we really have nothing in common, and we're not exactly friends. Jenna's wife, Laura, very sadly and somewhat suddenly passed away in early March. She was terminally ill, but responding to treatment very well and was expected to survive another 2 to 5 years. Oh man, I'm reading this on March 21st, so that's really early March is only a few weeks ago, so ooh, that's tough. She's been leaning on Ian heavily for support, which I understand, but she's been at our house every single day since, and even sleeping in our guest room most nights, because she doesn't want to be home alone. Which would be okay, except she is getting more and more passive-aggressive towards me, and weirdly territorial of Ian. I said that all weird. And weirdly territorial of Ian. I've reminded myself that I don't think I could stand to see a happy couple for months if I lost Ian, and to be patient. It's not personal. My birthday was on Sunday, and I got home Saturday after a morning out, and Jenna was there. I was making small talk when I asked Ian what time he had made dinner reservations for the next day. Jenna inserted herself right here and asked Ian if he was going to be out the next day, and he said yes. She started panicking and saying that he couldn't, and she wasn't ready to spend an evening alone. I was going to tell her that she could still hang out here while we were gone, and she looked at me and said, "Don't you have any effing friends you can go with?" And I just blew the F up. "Don't you have any other effing friends you can go bother?" And so on. She called me selfish for, quote, monopolizing my husband. And I had enough. I told her she could get the F out of my house and to not come back ever. Ian had been trying to calm things down between us, but it spiraled out of control fast. And he ended up escorting Jenna out and telling her that he'd come visit her in a few days, but he would be backing my decision because of how she spoke to me. I was happy for his support, and still am, but it's been a few days, and I just feel bad all around about it. I should have been more understanding of her, but I also feel like she should treat me more respectfully, and I'm not really sure if I overreacted. Oh man, OP, you definitely didn't overreact. You definitely did not overreact. My heart goes out to Jenna. I just can't imagine losing my partner. And it's funny, well, not like funny, haha, but it's interesting the fact that my reaction is, if something tragic like that happened in my life, I think I wouldn't want to see anybody. I would just hole up and kind of block out the world. And luckily I have a nice support system around me where they wouldn't allow that to happen too badly. But it's definitely really sad that it kind of seems like Jenna doesn't have a wider support system. Since she and Ian have been friends for so long, I can understand he feels like a brother and everything, but really she's using him to fill in this void, this emotional void as a partner, because she just lost hers. And it's understandable, but that doesn't necessarily make it right. And I do think that it's really great, the fact that Ian did stand by his wife and everything, and he's still trying to be supportive, so he's in a tough position there too. So it's borderline for me between not the A and no A's here. That's kind of where I'm kind of wishy-washy on it at this point. I guess if I have to settle on one, I would say not the A, and Jenna just needs to do some work on herself and really deal with her grief. So those are today's stories. Let me know your thoughts about them down in the comments. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if there's any other subreddits you want to see featured on this channel. Thank you again for joining me on Chelsea Reads. I hope you have a great day, and please remember to be kind to other people and be kind to yourself. Talk to you soon!